Okay, it's that time again. I'm going for a walk, and you're coming along. And inevitably, I'm gonna waffle around on a tabletop role-playing game topic because I'm stupid, apparently. Now, I missed this one on tabletop role-playing game Jeopardy because I've been talking about, Wizards of the Coast art and game companies telling you don't buy my product, and stupid trolls trying to think they have sway or whatever. So I totally missed out on the whole goblin, gnolls, orcs, something has to be evil argument that's been going on for the last couple weeks. I assume it's Harmony Ginger's fault, because apparently everything on the internet is her fault. Poor Harmony. But yeah, so this all falls down back to the orcs are racist, or why do orcs have to be empirically evil? But even further, let's peel that back further. It's like, do I need an empirically evil group of mooks, henchmen, whatever you want to call them? This weather makes my throat so dry. To make my game, can I run my game without an inherently evil? And the answer is no. There has to be something out there whose job it is to push against the characters, to provide them with the impetus to go forward. You don't want to make it orcs because of some false virtue signaling? Fine. You don't want to make it gnolls because, gnolls are dogs. Actually, hyenas are more cats than dogs, apparently. I didn't know this. But apparently hyenas are closer to cats than dogs, even though they look like doggos. So gnolls are cats, which I guess would explain gnolls. And I don't want goblins to be evil because, I don't want there to be an inherently evil because that's bad and blah, blah, blah. All right, let's assume the magic eraser comes down and says, Glenda the Good Witch goes, okay, here's your wish. No more evil. What are you gonna do? Well, let's go to the dungeon and kill the who? Not the orcs. They're not doing anything bad. Not the goblins, not the dragons, not the undead. Nobody's doing anything bad anymore. They're just living their life, doing their thing, not evil. So, what's your job now, adventurers? Who are you going to protect the city from? Who's going to kidnap the princess? Where are you going to get all that treasure? Because now if you go robbing the orcs' cave, you're not killing the evil orcs who are planning on attacking the city and then, as long as we're here, we're going to take their stuff. No, you're going into the home of perfectly law-abiding, good citizens who aren't doing anything wrong, murdering them in their sleep to rob them. And what happens when the graveyard gets too full and the no longer evil undead need to start spreading out? What are you going to do? You can't go after them. They're not evil anymore. They're just expanding. I don't have enough room in my land. I need to expand my land. What am I going to do? The dragon decides, I'm hungry, so I'm going to eat that cow. I'm going to eat 50 cows. Not evil anymore. So what are you going to do? Wasn't an evil act. No more smite evil. No more detect evil. No more turn undead. No more turn evil. No more protection from evil. If there's no empirical evil, if there's no empirical bad guys, if there's nothing for the characters to fight against, if there's nothing to provide the characters with empirical objectives, what's the story? What is the story if the fire giants aren't trying to be fire giants? What is the story if Tiamat's not trying to do Tiamat? What's your story if the pirates aren't being pirates anymore? Well, now that everybody's good, right? Well, then doesn't that make everything that you, the player characters, now do sus? Doesn't that make you maybe the bad guys? Why did you rob that tomb, Ruka? Why did you rob that tomb, Steven? It wasn't evil. You went into the tomb of that nice old man who wasn't doing anything, just studying his books in his undead state, killed him, and you robbed him. Why? Because he was what, Stephen? Because he was what? No, now you're the bad guy, because if there's no bad guys and the player characters continue to do player character things in the world, they're now the bad guys. You're robbing and murdering. You are the one who are colonizing. Players, you are the ones that are doing all the things that you claim the bad guys are doing. The universe is just responding to your actions. Because even the inherently evil races don't consider what they're doing evil, because that's all they know. If anything, you're evil because you're in their way, because you're trying to stop them, right? From the point of view of the armies of the Orcs of Mordor, or the men from the hills that Sauron corrupted, they wanted land. They wanted to expand. They wanted industry. They wanted to turn this tranquil, pastoral, elf-infested landscape, man-infested landscape, to some place where they could live and thrive and fulfill the mission given to them by the Overlord, right? They wanted industry. They wanted society. They wanted a place to raise their baby orcs and their baby dragons and their baby trolls, right? That's just the same thing you're doing when you help the kingdom establish the keep on the borderlands and clear out the caves of chaos, which are clearly the inhabitation of just a bunch of goblins and orcs doing their thing, not causing any trouble. Hey, it's our house. We found it. You guys weren't using it. These are our caves. We found them. You weren't using them. We're the ones who've invested all this time and effort in building up the fort. We're the ones who invested all this time and effort in hollowing out the caves of chaos and putting in, infrastructure and plumbing and food and refuse. And we're all working together, happily working together to, make sure this land becomes profitable and make sure it becomes something that we could live in as orcs and goblins. We don't want to bother you guys. Look how far away we are. Then you come marching in with your orders from some king that I don't even know who that guy is. And the very first thing you do is show up at our keep and start murdering people. Poor old Grognard, he wasn't doing anything. He was just watching the gate. One day to retirement, and you murder him. Susan the Hill Giant, she had kids at home, and you murdered her. Why? Oh, because they're evil. No, they weren't. They were just there, doing their thing. If you get rid of evil, you become the evil. Now, if you don't want to, I can't hurt gnolls because they're doggos. That's fine. I can't hurt orcs because racism. Stupid, but okay. But you have to have some inherently evil conflict arising something to give the players incentive. Because if there's no incentive for their murder hobo instincts, they'll start murdering villagers. They'll start doing the things that once upon a time they were trying to protect you from, because they're bored and they're power hungry and they want stuff. And if there isn't a dungeon for them to explore to get stuff and to kill things, they're going to start killing your villagers, which could be the whole emphasis of your No More Evil campaign, if now the player characters have become the bad guys. Right? What are you doing today? I guess we're going to rob the bank because we need money. That's an evil act, right? If you rob the bank, right? Well, we can't go to the caves of chaos and get money because they're not evil anymore. So how are we going to get the money to buy that one magic item that Chris has to have? Right? It happens. We've all seen murder hobos go murder hobo. If you don't give them something to keep them activated, they will start taking their frustration out on your villagers. So you need to provide them with a constant conflict. You need to provide them with a reason to go play dungeon and to go fight dragon. It's literally in the name. You have to have some empirical conflicting force, howdy, that is actively working against the character's goals, actively providing this story. And if you don't want it to be a humanoid because reasons, racism, colonialism, false virtue signaling, great, fine, stupid, but okay. Use undead. Use slime. Run Borrow Maze. Borrow Maze by Greg Gillespie, on paper, is the perfect solution. Not that I'm trying to sell Borrow Maze, but there is only one bad guy in Borrow Maze. Undead. Various types of undead. Do I hear geese? Oh no, it's a phone ringing. Right, so here you've got all these undead doing undead things. Here you've got this cult trying to bring the undead back to power. You've got various different factions of undead. You've got undead adjacent monsters. You've got, various types of golems. You've got slimes. You've got giant insects. You got, armies of skeletons, armies of zombies, armies of all sorts of other weird undead who exist for no other purpose than to be undead and to give you, the adventurer, something to do. Go clear out the Borrow Maze. Go find out what's going on. Go collect the thingy so we can do the thingy. Sounds like years worth of hex crawling, dungeon crawling, adventuring, role-playing, faction play, power building, kingmaker, kingdom conquering, all without ever once having to cross swords with an orc. Can't kill the orcs because they're not evil. That would be bad. Zombies, on the other hand, skeletons, vampires, giant insects, slime. There's no guilt in killing them. They don't care. They're undead. Giant ant doesn't care. It's a giant ant. She's doing giant ant things. She doesn't care if you kill it. There's no moral question. There's no shadow of colonialism for killing a giant ant. Good afternoon. So, while I think the reasoning behind your nobody is evil is dumb, I get it that that's the way, the direction tabletop roleplay characters think they want to go right now. Whatever. It's not my game. I'm not playing it. I'm not running it. I don't care. Fly your flag, whatever you want, as long as you're having fun and you're not hurting anybody else. But you have to, DM, give them some reason.
Okay.
Howdy.
Hey.
Howdy, sir. To be good guys. And if you don't want to use humanoids, slime, undead, giant insects, elementals, golems, no moral question. Oh, army of skeletons, evil dead, attacking the village. They're not evil, but they're not good, so I don't feel guilty. So yeah, that's the argument. And my counter argument is, as I said, you need something. There has to be an empirical threat. And if it's not going to be orcs, fine. Every time you see the word orc, replace it with bandits or skeletons. Because if there's no evil orcs, then the only evil left would be other humans, right? And if the evil humans aren't the player characters, because let's face it, the player characters, by their very actions, could be perceived as bad, if not worse, than the monsters they're trying to stop. Why did you slaughter that entire village? Well, the blacksmith was evil and we wanted to be sure. So, follow through with that. What happened, in the real world when suddenly there's no work and there's nothing for people to do and there's these, armored paladins, knights walking all around bringing all this wealth in from the Holy Land, and you're stuck growing potatoes and hoping you get enough potato. Well, you turn to banditry, you turn to highwayman, you turn to crime, because That's where the money is, right? So no different. Make the bad guys undead. Make the bad guys human bandits, right? Human wizards, adventuring parties who have fallen to evil ways because there's nothing else for them to do, and they need to support their adventuring party lifestyle. There's your answer. Anyways, that's my 2 cents on that topic. Let me know what you think. Certainly is controversial, right? There's me being controversial and stupid and not having a topic. See ya.